We begin with a major break in a 30-year-old cold case. Investigators in Stafford County have identified human remains found in 1990 as a Norfolk teenager.
The sheriff's office is still investigating exactly how he died, and they need your help. Sarah Hammond tells us how investigators cracked at least part of this case decades later.
32 years ago, a human skull was found under a fence in Stafford County, Virginia. No one knows how it got there, and there were no other remains around. But now, 3 decades later, thanks to DNA evidence, those remains have finally been identified as a Norfolk teenager. On September 28, 1990, a man was bush hogging his field when he found a human skull lying under the fence line. The Stafford County Sheriff's Office says deputies searched the area but found no other remains. They believe the skull had been there for 1 to 3 years and showed no signs of trauma. Multiple agencies who studied the skull believed it belonged to a white teenager between 15 and 18 years old. Investigators say the Office of Chief Medical Examiner strongly suspected the death to be violent or unnatural because of the victim's age and where the skull was found. Over the years, scientists in Texas created a DNA profile, and last November they gave the sheriff's office a possible ID. Detectives tracked down the victim's father and brother in Norfolk and used their DNA to confirm the skull belonged to Timothy Mangum. Mangum was enrolled in the Chesapeake Public School System, then enrolled in Lake Taylor High School in 1983. Kenny Miller had a 41-year career in law enforcement, and he says the advancement of DNA technology over the years is like flipping on a light switch on cold cases like this one.
DNA technology, it's like the epiphany, the awakening.
But he says the technology doesn't work on its own.
While DNA is truly a big asset to law enforcement in matching, it still takes the effort of the investigator.
For 13 News Now, I'm Sarah Hammond.
Again, investigators still don't know exactly how Timothy Mangum died. They believe he was last alive in 1983 or 1984.
Now, if you've had any contact with him around that time, or you know why he may have been in Stafford County, they do want to hear from you. You can find contact information on 13newsnow.com.